guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Phindi. Actually, my name is Phindi, originally from South Africa, but currently living in Poland, and Poland is in Europe. My darling, my sweetheart, if it's your first time here, welcome to my channel, and thank you so much for being here. And please make sure that you don't leave without subscribing to help my channel grow. I would really appreciate it. And if you're a returning subscriber, my darling, my sweetheart, welcome back, and thank you so much for coming back, and thank you so much for always coming back. Thank you for your love and your support. And if you're a new subscriber, my darling, my sweetheart, welcome, and thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, and I hope you will like it here, and thank you. Yeah. So guys, as you could have seen by the title of the video, on this video I'll be explaining to you how I was able to invite mom to come and visit me to Poland, and also I'll be taking you through the steps of how to apply for a visa. I know there was a time where I did a video on how to apply for a visa, and I think that was a year ago. So now I'm coming back in 2023 and explaining two things: applying for an invitation, or how to invite a person to Poland, what documents you need, and which office you need to go to, and also how to apply for a visa after you've gotten this invitation. So I hope this video will come in handy for someone who wants to invite someone to Poland, or someone who wants to be invited to Poland. So stay tuned and keep on watching. So guys, first things first, I'll be explaining to you what is an invitation and why is it helpful at some point when you need to apply for a visa. So I have my notes here, and I'll be looking down and reading to you. Please don't mind if I'm not looking at the camera and if I'm actually looking down. Okay, so guys, an invitation letter is not a document giving you the right to enter Poland. In order for you to enter Poland, you still need to go and apply for a visa. So after getting your invitation letter, you still need to go for an interview. You still need to go for your visa interview. You still need to book an appointment to go for an interview. So just because you have an invitation letter, it does not mean that, oh, finally I can go to Poland and I can fly with this invitation. No, you still need a visa to enter Poland. So an invitation letter is one of the documents that you need to submit when you go for an interview. Okay. So now let's get to another point. Who may apply for entering an invitation and registering an invitation? So if you are a Polish citizen residing in the territory of the Republic of Poland, then you can invite someone to Poland. Or if you are a foreigner residing legally and continuously for at least 5 years in Poland, then you can invite a person. Or if you are a foreigner with a permanent resident or permit, then you can invite someone to Poland. Or if you are a foreigner with a long-term EU residence, then you can invite someone to Poland. So now, how I was able to send my mother an invitation letter. So remember on the past clip, I told you that you need to be a resident of, if you are a foreigner, you need to be a resident of Poland, or you need to be living in Poland for at least the past 5 years for you to be able, or for you to qualify to invite a person. So as you guys know, I've been in Poland for 3 years. So that means I do not qualify to invite my mother to Poland, but I'm living in Poland and I cannot invite her. So I needed someone who can help me with inviting mom to come to Poland. So because my partner is Polish, so my partner was the one who actually sent the invitation letter to mom so that mom can come and visit us, because she needed to be here. She needed to come. I haven't seen her for 3 years and we just had to invite her. So my partner was kind enough to actually invite my mother. So now I'll get to the steps of how he did it and how he actually applied. And that's the thing, guys, he didn't go to this office to apply, so he did everything online. And now I'll get right on to it and explain to you what he needed to invite mom. So step number one, okay, I need to explain which office that you need to go to in order for you to send an invitation or to apply for this invitation. So the name of the office is Urząd Wojewódzki. So this is like a Home Affairs of Poland, and it's either you go there or you can do this online. So I'll be explaining with online because that's how he did it. He did it online. And I think, guys, it's much better to do it online instead of you going there and standing on the line and spending your whole day there. Because we all know, if you live in Poland, if you're a foreigner or if you're a Polish person, we all know how busy Urząd Wojewódzki is, and we all know how annoying it can be to go there and stand for the whole day. And it's not only the Urząd Wojewódzki, Home Affairs back home, it's extremely busy. It's annoying just to go to an Home Affairs and having to deal with the people there and just standing there all day. So he did this online, and online it's much easier. Very easy, extremely easy, believe me when I tell you this. So the first thing that he did, he went to the Urząd Wojewódzki site, and on this site you will see there's a point that says foreigners. So you click on this point, the foreigners point, and under this point you will find anything and everything that has to do with foreigners. It can be work permits, invitations, residence card, and all this kind of things that you need to know as a foreigner or you need to apply for as a foreigner. So under this, he clicked on invitations, and under invitations, that way you will get a form. You have to print out this form, and after printing out this form, you have to fill it, and after filling it, you have to submit this form. It's either by post or you can go to the Urząd Wojewódzki, but I think submitting it by post is the best option. Why? Because then you don't have to go and stand there the whole day just to submit this application. It's much faster this way. So he printed out the form and he filled the form. So also under this invitation site, they will tell you which supporting documents they need for you to submit with us. Okay, so then after printing it out and filling it, he had to submit it with his work contract. So why does he need to submit a work contract? Because now he's inviting someone into Poland. So he needs to prove that he's able to take care of this person. He needs to prove that he is working. He needs to prove also that he's earning enough money to take care of this particular person. Okay, and he had to submit also a bank statement not older than 30 days. So the bank statement, it has to be less than 30 days, and a proof of residence, because he's an apartment owner, so he needed to submit that he owns this apartment. He needed to submit everything that has to do with his apartment to prove that he's the owner of this apartment. And another thing, let me say you are renting a place and you have a contract from your landlord, then you can submit this contract to prove that you are actually living there and you have this residence as your rented place. So even if you don't have like your actual apartment, even if you don't own an apartment and you're just renting, it's still fine. You can submit a contract between you and your landlord. And he also needed to submit his identity, the copy of his identity, the copy of his identification. So it can be, if you are a foreigner, of course you'll submit your, what is this, your residence card, but for him he submitted his ID card, of copy of his ID card, and then he paid 27 zlotys. So after paying this 27 zlotys, because also on this site you will see there's a bank account, you can pay through a bank account, which is easy. So he did a bank transfer, and then after that he got the confirmation that he paid. So he printed out this confirmation and attached it to all these documents. So I'll repeat what you need to submit with this printed form. Okay, so you print out the form and you fill it and you submit your work contract, bank statement not older than 30 days, proof of residence, copy of identification, and pay 27 zlotys. After paying this 27 zlotys, you print out the proof that you paid and submit it with it. And now how you can submit these documents: you can go to the Urząd Wojewódzki, which I do not recommend, or you can send this by post. So you send this by post, and guess what, guys? We thought that maybe we will wait for like a month, 2 or 3, for us to get an answer. We submitted first week, we didn't get an answer. Second week, towards the end of the third week, we got an answer and we got the invitation. So it took less than a month for us to get an answer. That was it. So we had our invitation, and mom could come and stay in Poland for 3 months on this invitation. That's how long they gave us. We were so happy. I was so happy. I couldn't believe it, because at that time I was still living in my small village. So when my partner sent me the picture of the invitation, I was like, that's not possible. That's not possible. How fast was it? And he was like, yeah, that's it. It was so fast. So that's how you can send an invitation to a person. That's how you can invite a person. Or that's how I was able to invite my mother to Poland. So guys, now we're just gonna move on to the steps of applying for a visa, how mom was able to get the visa. So after we got the invitation and everything, now it was time for mom to do her part, because I've done my part and my partner has done his part. But everything that mom had to do, I was helping her in every way that I can. For instance, I was the one who booked her an appointment for the visa application, and I was the one who booked her the itinerary ticket, so that she can take this to apply for the visa. I was the one who booked her the traveling insurance, which are the most important documents. So now let's get on to the steps of how we booked for an appointment. There was a video that I did with Neo. So please guys, if you haven't seen this video, because I'm not gonna go through everything, so if you haven't seen this video, please go and watch it. And also, if you want to come and study in Poland, on that video I did specify that when it comes to studying in Poland, I cannot help you much. That's why Neo had to be there, in order for her to explain to you guys what you need and what you can do when it comes to studying in Poland. So if you have more questions about studying in Poland, please go to her channel, please go watch that video, and then try and understand what she was explaining, because I think she was explaining a lot and it was very clear there. So if you have any questions about studying in Poland, go to her channel. So step number 1 that we did, of course, I sent mom the invitation, and now we had to apply for an itinerary ticket. So I went online and applied for an itinerary ticket, and I will just link there, or I will just write the name of this site where I was able to get an itinerary ticket at a very cheap price. And then also for the medical insurance, because I live right in the center of the city, so everywhere I go, you can find offices that will give you travel insurance. So I went to this other place that is few meters away from my house. So I went there and I was able to get the traveling insurance for her, and then I sent that to her. After I received this flight itinerary and the travel insurance, then I sent everything, all the documents to her. So now she had to gather all this document and go for her appointment. And when I was booking an appointment for her, for me it was easy, because I've done this before, and I knew that the only thing that I need to make sure that I do is to make sure that I fill everything correctly, so that I don't so that there are no mistakes and everything like that. But guys, let me tell you something. Even though I was so careful, I made a lot of mistakes, and I went back online, and I only noticed that I made mistakes after printing out this form, because you fill out the form online and then you have to print it out. Okay, So when I looked at this form, I noticed that I made a lot of mistakes when it comes to dates and everything like that. But the nicest thing is that when you make a mistake on your, please keep this in mind, when you make a mistake on your application form, or for when you're applying for a visa, you can scratch out the mistake that you made and write the correct date. So I made a mistake and wrote the date that was completely wrong. So I scratched it out and wrote the correct date on top and signed at the bottom to show that, okay, I made a mistake and I'm the one who made the mistake. Okay, so that is another thing. When you make a mistake, don't panic or don't go back and book for another date, because once you fill out the form, once you print it out, that means your date is set. There's nothing you can do about it. So instead of you going and booking a new date, all you can do is just scratch out where you made the mistake, whether it's your name, whether it's the date or anything. So you can scratch it out and then sign to show that, okay, fine, I'm the one who made a mistake and I'm the one who's correcting it again. Okay, so step number one, you need to go online and book an appointment. And after booking an appointment, it will take you straight to a site where you need to fill out a form. So this form will be document number one that you will need to take when you go for your interview. So you fill out, so what I did is I booked an appointment for mom. I asked her if this appointment will be okay for her. She said yes. And then I booked this appointment for her and I filled out everything for her. Like I said, guys, I made a lot of mistakes on this application. I made a lot of mistakes. But when I realized that I made a lot of mistakes, and some of these mistakes, it consisted of the traveling dates. And remember that the date on your ticket and on your itinerary ticket and the date or on this invitation letter, it has to be this on this form that you need to submit. It needs to be the same. So when I printed out after finishing, I noticed that, oh my goodness, I made a lot of mistakes, and some of them it includes dates, and dates are very important. They need to be the same. Okay, so I went online and searched if I can book another appointment or if I need to cancel my appointment because I made a mistake. But then I saw that after making a mistake, you don't need to cancel your appointment. You can just scratch the date that you wrote wrong and write the correct date and sign. Okay, so first document, it was this printed form, and then you need to submit your passport. You need to have two photos of yourself, like the ID photos, and then you need to have proof of travel health insurance, and you need to have invitation letter. You need to have proof of accommodation. But now when you have an invitation letter, the invitation letter already it's specified, it's saying that this person will be able to take care of you. Accommodation, it's sorted. So mom didn't need to submit any proof of accommodation when she had an invitation letter, so she was sorted. But now remember I told you that my partner had to submit her bank statement, his bank statement, his contract of work. This does not mean that you, as a person who's being invited, you don't need to submit the proof of sufficient funds. You still need to submit your bank statement also to prove that you are making money where you are, or you have money in your account to take care of yourself should anything go wrong with your host. Okay, so you still need to submit the proof of sufficient funds. So mom had to submit 3 months bank statement from her banks. I think she submitted from 2 banks or 3, I can't remember, but I told her to submit everything, even if it's a bank that hasn't been working in a while. I told her to submit everything. And then she also had to submit proof of flight reservation or flight itinerary. So this is the one that I did for her. The travel insurance I did for her and I sent it to her by email, and the flight reservation I did for her and I sent it by email. So now let's go back to the documents that you need to submit. Okay, first document is going to be this form that you printed out from the site, from the embassy site, and your passport, because you will leave your passport there, and Poland visa application form. Oh, I already said that. And 2 photos of yourself, ID photos, proof of travel insurance, and invitation letter, proof of accommodation if you need to submit, or if they ask you to submit. But if you have somebody inviting you, you don't need to submit this. And proof of sufficient funds, which mom did submit, proof of flight itinerary or flight reservation. So guys, I hope this was helpful to you, or to whoever who's looking to travel to Poland, and whoever who's going to apply for a visa through invitation. Okay, and guys, you cannot do a fake invitation, because when you get to the first European country that you are, let me say you are changing your flight before you come to Poland. So like for mom, she changed in Germany, so they asked her a lot of questions about the person who was inviting her. They asked her a lot of questions about my partner. So if somebody invited you and you guys don't know each other, you'll be in trouble. They'll send you back before you can come to Poland. And so yeah guys, and one other thing that I need to say is that when somebody is sending you an invitation, they cannot write an invitation and sign by themselves and send you the invitation. You need to, the person who's inviting you needs to go to the Urząd Wojewódzki and submit this application, or they need to do it online, because on this invitation you will get a stamp that is from the Urząd Wojewódzki, which is the government, to say that yes, we approve this person has been invited. Because my mother was telling me, she was telling me a story that when she was at the embassy, there was a couple that was sent an invitation by their daughter who's living in Poland for the past 15 years, and this daughter sent an invitation by writing. You know, like she wrote an invitation that, oh, I'm inviting my parents, blah 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 blah. But then her application was declined and she was sent back home. They were sent back home mainly because the invitation, it was not a proper invitation. So the reason why I'm doing this video is to show other people not to make the same mistake as those people made. Do I make sense? So guys, I know this video is probably all over the place, because sometimes I find it hard to explain things properly, but I hope it was helpful, and I hope it will come in handy for someone who has any questions. Remember guys, I don't, because I got a lot of messages from Instagram, people asking me, oh, can you please invite me to Poland? Oh, do you help bringing people to Poland? Guys, I don't bring people to Poland. I'm not an agency, I'm not anything. I'm just sharing the information that I know and the information that I think can be useful to you. If you have any questions about studies, please go to Newo's channel and you will find the details there, and she will be happy to answer all your questions when it comes to studying. My darling, my sweetheart, thank you so much for watching up to this far, and please make sure that you don't leave without subscribing if you are new here. And if you are coming for the first time and you don't want to subscribe, I don't know, but anyway, thank you for watching up to this far, and I will see you on the next video. And please make sure that you comment down below. Okay, bye. Makeup stain